Hello, loves. Let's get into a detailed version of how I made my son's cake. This is a character called Ghost on Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I guess, because I don't really know. And I really tried my best trying to recreate it. I used styrofoam for the head because we didn't need that much cake to begin with. And I didn't make it out of Rice Krispie treats because honestly, that's a lot of Rice Krispie treats and I don't think it was going to get eaten regardless. Plus, it's so much easier to work with styrofoam because you can literally just smash it, roll it, whatever you want, and it won't get ruined. And the shape is already there. So I covered it in shortening and then fondant so the fondant can stick. And you can see me working on the details. I did have to add like an extra piece of black to widen his neck area because in the picture it was pretty wide. And he's kind of wearing like a ski mask is what I kind of saw with painted skull. But then on top of the ski mask, there's like an extra skull kind of stitched on. So onto the cake. I had extra styrofoam. You know, when you get boxes of like furniture, they have styrofoam pieces in there. So I keep them for just these type of things. Yes, I do wash them. I figured I'd just make his shoulders cake. And normally I would just use buttercream because I want it to be nice and sturdy. But I thought I could actually put a filling in these two, at least in the center. And that way you get two different flavors. So I did do one side with chocolate buttercream. And then I opted for cookies and cream on the other side. And notice how I put the border dam like in the center of the cake because I knew I'm going to carve out some pieces around the sides. So I covered it up and then I added little pieces of cake here and there because I wanted to create the bust of the cake. And I knew I had to carve it out to give that shape. So after I carved it off, yes, I put those on the side and I used cake pops. You're going to see them at the end of the video. I do not like to throw anything away, guys. Covered it all up in cream, but this was after I refrigerated it so that it can harden a little bit and that would be easier to ice. I knew it didn't have to be perfect because the ghost guy that I was copying is wearing kind of a drape over his shoulders. And I didn't want to use too much fondant. So I started with black for the bottom. That was the only part of the black that was going to show, as well as around his neck. It looked like there was a draped shirt around his neck too. And then it looks like he's wearing kind of a blanket around his shoulders and I wanted to give it that drape effect. So I cut out strips of fondant and kind of laid them over each other. This way it looks like it was draped over one side of the shoulder going to the other side. So I went ahead and I covered all the white parts of the buttercream that you see. And then I even added some extra on the top of the neck so that it'll look like it has volume there. I didn't show that part though. And I went ahead and airbrushed it so it looks like it has some shadow in there as well. He also was wearing headphones. They were very detailed. I did not get into it because I didn't have much time left. This already took a super long time. So I made them super quickly out of fondant. I did add a little microphone to it. And although he doesn't look exactly like him, it's pretty good. There is the cake pops as well, and there is the full image of the cake. He absolutely loved it. I'll show you his reaction soon.